one of my jobs in the circus, I was in the circus in Ireland and we tour from town to town. And one of my jobs was once we arrived and got the tent up, I would go into town and let the town know the circus had arrived. And I had this incredible license to do whatever I wanted because it was Ireland and I was a clown. And so I would stop traffic. I would go in and out of shops. I would go to schools and bang on. They just let me. I still can't believe they did. I'm sure they wouldn't now. And I'd go into classrooms and get stuck under whiteboards or stuck in the door and just clown my way around town. And I literally remember one time I was in a smallish town, and for some reason there was a big digger with like big scoop on the front of it driving through the town. And so I jumped out the front of it and ran like it was chasing me, and ran through the whole town screaming like, no! And it was the whole town sort of gathered to watch. It looked like some bizarre scene of like slow motion. It was just very, very weird. And I just had so many moments like that. And so I think the biggest gift, or at least one of the biggest gifts of the clown, is the social permission that you have immediately changes. Like, I'll get arrested. If I did the things that I did as a clown without the clown makeup, I literally would be arrested. But because I'm a clown, I have this different social permission to be crazy, to be
Did you get nervous
wild,
before? Did you get nervous before clowning, like doing this stuff?
I think I remember about to go on stage the first time and feeling a bit nervous because we had a routine and how was it going to go, would the people laugh? And I remember thinking, oh my God, in the next 3 months, I've got 160 shows or something ridiculous. Like, it was a huge amount of shows. And it was like, I can't take each one so seriously because there's so many of them. So, there wasn't a lot of nervousness. It was, the biggest thing was exhaustion, but that's another story, just on all the time. But it's finding the moments.
I'm just imagining a clown. I'm just imagining a clown on a treadmill, just like training for it. Sweating it out.
Yeah, totally. And the other thing that I really love about the clown is that and this is connected to the spirituality you're talking about, is that each moment is miraculous. Each moment is precious and each object is precious. So I was always the clown that couldn't get things right. Yeah, I wasn't particularly skilled at anything. Anything I try, I would just stuff up. And so I would continually be trying to walk through a door and banging it on my head and, trying to do a presentation. I had this whole thing where a whiteboard, those whiteboards on the fold out legs, I would fall and then it would be like attacking me, and this whole thing where I'd end up underneath the whiteboard. And this has been the whiteboard that's sitting in this kid's classroom for years just as a whiteboard. And all of a sudden it became this beast that I was interacting with, and it was attacking me and I was defending, and I'd walk away from it and fall towards me. And so like that, taking an ordinary moment or an ordinary object and creating a whole different reality with it based on just purely that is fascinating, because it's ordinary life brought alive, I think, is one of the things that really excites me, It's how juicy a single moment can be when we're alive.
Yeah. Wow. I really love where this conversation's moving. And because one thing that I've found really difficult is like that serious thing, which is a safety strategy. It's a mask that I wear often, where play is really intimidating because it means that I have to open to the joy of life and I feel more vulnerable. And so a part of my safety strategies throughout difficult times in life, and still use it on a daily basis, is like I'll go into seriousness to avoid intimacy with life. And I find it takes me a lot of courage to play. But then when I do, it's a lot of fun, but it takes a lot of courage. It's not just easy. It's a lot of fear comes up to play.
Totally. Look, it's fascinating play. Here's another connection between my work now and the clowning, is that I now work with business leaders, people running 6-figure, 7-figure businesses, and my job is to help them do business better. And again and again, one of the core things they get from working with me is when they learn to bring in play, and I don't necessarily mean play like just, this is a game, but I mean the spirit of, I'm going to enjoy this for the sake of it. Yeah, I'm just going to do this for fun as opposed to do this to achieve the result. That radical things happen, in terms of creativity, in terms of output, in terms of the ability to take risks. Because when we're in a state of play, they've actually done studies on this, that when we're in a state of play, we learn things 5 times faster than when we're in a state of sort of just trying to learn it without play. But I don't understand why that is. But this sense of, helping people activate and relate to their business or their company through play actually, obviously, there's the obvious benefit; it just becomes more fun. But actually, it unlocks a whole another level of creative power that actually gets more done faster and easier. So I'm a big sort of, I train people in how to play these days as a consciousness. Not like, okay, we're going to turn this board meeting into a game. Everyone play past the parcel. Not that sort of play, but in terms of the consciousness of this is a moment we're just going to enjoy ourselves. We're just going to participate in this moment fully as the game. And if we hit the target, the KPIs, or we don't, it doesn't matter in the end. And that actually creates a whole flow of life in an individual and in a team that I keep being amazed at how performance increases as play increases. Yeah.
Can you give an example of like how a scenario with like a group of people may have unfolded with people that don't usually play much and have like quite serious masks that they wear, and then how you're able to awaken it so I can kind of get more of the experience?
Let me think. So, well, I'll think of my team. So when I was running Warriors of Love, I had a team of about 6 of us, and we were working a lot to grow the Warriors of Love program, and we ran all sorts of retreats and all sorts of things. And we went away for a weekend, and we we all had our roles, and we were all trying to make it work. And we got to a point where we got too serious. We'd been butting heads, and there was this tension. Yeah. And so we decided to go to the hot springs. We decided to just forget everything for a bit and just breathe in what we call the essence, that love, whatever it is that we are, and just let it move through us. And we started laughing and joking. And after about, I don't know, a couple of hours of doing that, part of the challenge was that we were missing a person in our team, and we didn't know how to make that, how to cover that role. How were we going to do that? And just as we were laughing and playing, one of the guys just suddenly went, "Oh my God, I've got it. This problem we've been working with for hours." And he just looked at another member of the team and said, "It's me and you together. I'm good at this bit and you're good at this bit. If we take on this role together, we'll actually be brilliant at it." And It was genius. And they worked inside those roles and actually were really integral to growing the company. And it didn't come through sort of mentally work. It actually came just in this moment of totally relaxing and letting go, that we were, as a team, were able to see what was a radically different way. Like, we had the role of, this was the business manager, this was the admin person, this was the marketing manager. We had this idea of what the roles were. And then this person, just through relaxing in the hot springs, saw a completely different perspective that changed the trajectory of the company. Because we actually then didn't need to bring in an extra person. We actually just, all of us pivoted, and we found a whole new way to work and create together. That didn't make sense, but worked.
Yeah, what's coming up for me there, it's like surrender required, because the intellect, for me, my intellect is very controlling, and it wants to be in charge and making sure everything happens predictably. But the moment that play comes in and there's creativity and it's in the present moment and we're having fun, that control part is gone, because it's just living in the moment. Anything can happen. And my experience is that beauty happens, but I got to trust.
Totally. And seriousness just kills the flow of life. If we take things, we can go for things, but if we take them too seriously, something happens. Our life force diminishes.
Can you give me some tips personally? Because it really is an edge for me, of the seriousness. If I just go, I've got a condition, and the condition is seriousness. This
is a meeting for Serious Anonymous. Yeah.
This is a meeting for seriousness in order to bring play.
I love it. I don't think I've ever been asked that question before. I've got the affliction of seriousness, doctor. What do I do with it? I think probably that, like, the Buddhist truth that we're going to die is actually really helpful. Like, just that meditating on it. Like, at some point this will all be over and we'll have achieved whatever we've achieved. We won't have achieved what we won't have achieved. Like, that sense of, and I really saw this in my wife, when, like, the level of depth of acceptance of that she wasn't going to get to live all her dreams actually opened her to this incredible beauty of the moment. So I think it's probably, I don't know, but being too caught up in your dreams, but having too much attention on where you're trying to get to.